Good evening. The Armstrong School District Board of Directors regular monthly meeting of March 9th, 2017 is about to begin. I guess it was a caucus session, not the regular meeting. Regular meeting next week. My mistake. If you would stand with us for a moment of reflection, followed by a pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Burdell.
Here.
Mr. Johnson.
Here.
Mr. Close.
Here.
Ms. Lowe. Here. Dr. Lobby.
Here.
Mr. Mulroy.
Here.
Mr. Rarick. Mr. Skates.
Here.
Ms. Walker. The Board of School Directors of Armstrong School District convened an executive session on Thursday, March 9th at 7 o'clock p.m. in the Faculty Lounge of West Hills Intermediate School in Katanning for discussion of real estate, personnel, and tax appeal litigation.
Okay, this evening we have with us student board representatives from West Shamokin Junior Senior High School. They've given us their reports in front of us, so I just want to
Good evening. My report's on what's happened at Shannock Valley and Dayton Elementary since we last met. It's been a busy time for students at Shannock and Dayton, as at Shannock, students learned about some of the key figures of the civil rights movement, including Martin Luther King Jr., Rosa Parks, and various others throughout February as Black History Month was celebrated. Last week, Title I teachers produced a variety of fun, Dr. Seuss-themed activities for a week-long celebration of Read Across America Day, which was celebrated last Thursday. Members of the Rotary Club read and shared stories with the second graders in an effort to help students find the joy in reading. Fourth graders are busy learning about the complexities of music, as they are learning to play instruments such as trumpets, saxophones, and clarinets for the first time in their music class. And at Dayton Elementary, students participating in the Dayton Community Children's Choir are busy preparing for their spring concert, which will be held on April 8th. Hard-working sixth graders were rewarded with a trip to the Katanning YMCA in February and had a fun day bowling last Friday, courtesy of the Gold Pass program. The chess club has been meeting every Thursday after school, and the Dayton District Volunteer Fire Department came to stress the importance of fire safety and what to do in an emergency on January 13th.
Good evening. I'll be beginning with West Shamokin. For NHS, we did the pennies for patients, and we did the read out for the American Heart Association. We would sell hearts to the students for $1, and then that would profit the organization, and then they would get to write their name on the little hearts and put them up in the cafeteria, and we also sold t-shirts. Also, Leo Club. For Leo Club, we had a bunch of kids go down to Vandergrift, and they helped with the Special Olympics bowling, which they said it was really, really fun. And we also did Kindness Week the same time as NHS's Read Out. We did it along with Valentine's Day. For choir, District 3 PMEA choir was held at Marion Center High School. Rory Forrester Hall advanced to regional choir, which was held at Freeport. The AP Bio students in January attended an open heart surgery at Allegheny General, which was really cool. West Shamokin staff, they had an assembly for all of the underclassmen for their courses. So it was really good, and I had a lot of underclassmen ask me about some of the courses that I was in afterwards. So I think it was very good. We had a bunch of presentations on like AP classes and stuff like that to try to put those out there. Also, Junior County Band was held at West Shamokin. As something fun and educational, Bright Star presented a show to the junior high on the Underground Railroad. District Band was held at IUP. Dr. Shutters also, he held a 6th grade transition meeting for the future students and their parents, answering any questions, letting them know the activities that we do at West Shamokin, just to try to help them get an idea of what's going to happen soon. Region Chorus, as I mentioned previously, was held at Freeport, And Rory Forrester Hull advanced yet again, and he is going to be going to state choir in Erie. That's going to be coming up very, very soon. Also, in the music department, Mary Poppins the musical will be held March 17th and 18th, and it is almost sold out. We have 5 tickets left for Friday and 7 tickets left for Saturday. As you all know, the West Shamokin Lady Wolves will be beginning the first round of the state basketball tournaments. It will be held 4 p.m. at Armstrong High School, and all spring sports began this week. For Elderton, I didn't really get too much about them. I knew that they had a father-daughter dance. They had their Valentine's Day parties. And right now this week is Bring Your Parent to Breakfast Week. And they also had kindergarten registration yesterday.
Thank you. Any questions for the board representatives? Once again, thanks for joining us. Great reports. Keep an eye on that weather. I think it's got a little bit of weather coming in tonight. Be careful going home. It's a little dry, so be careful. Central office reports.
Yeah, we have a number of items we want to cover this evening. First order of business, this board over the years has taken great pride and pleasure in formally recognizing students and student athletes who have received accolades on the state level. And tonight, it's my extreme pleasure to introduce to you one of our student athletes from Armstrong High School, who is a senior at Armstrong High School, Mr. Zane Dudek. Would you please stand up? Accompanying him is his parents and his football coach behind him. Zane was named All-State by the PA Football Writers Association and also 5A Player of the Year this year. He broke numerous records. He broke the single-game rushing record and the single-season rushing record in the Whippeal. But more importantly than his athletic accomplishments, Zane currently has a 4.4 grade point average, which gives him a class rank 1 out of 191. He's a vice president of his class, member of the National Honor Society, student council, class cabinet. Zane also received the KDK Extra Effort Award, and he was our Math League MVP. So, Zane, you are what's good about the Armstrong School District. He also accepted a scholarship to Yale to continue his academic career and his athletic career. So on behalf of the entire board, the entire administration, your classmates, your coaches, your family, we give you a small token.
Great job. Just got to be great to have a son of that caliber. Well-rounded, excellent, and everything he touches, excellent. We'll look for the national news to be able to say he was from Tanning, not Pittsburgh. Whatever names and lights. So and if it doesn't get that far, there's some great accomplishments, you've made so far. I don't want to expect great things to come for you in the future. Thank you.
Zane, over the next few years, if you have time when you're back over the holidays or over the summer, stop by the administration. I always like to pick your brain about where you thought you were very well prepared and where you think that we need to do some work to better prepare our students for post-secondary education. Some other items we have an update on our Reynolds Energy Project at Shannon Valley Elementary. I'll let Mr. Kirk explain where we're at there.
Yeah, a couple things. First on the Reynolds, as most of you are aware, last Thursday, March 2nd, we approved the Shannock Elementary Guaranteed Energy Savings Project for $9.3 million. That work will begin over spring break. They'll start coming in and do some things that are not going to affect the educational process the day they think of the students. Then we did have our first meeting on that this past week, which just talked a lot about how we're going to move things out of the classrooms and what the timeline is going to be for that project. But that project is planned to take the summer and will not disrupt the start of next school year. Next update on the athletic complex up at the Armstrong Junior Senior High School. We've had a committee of 20 to 25 people, Coach Fabian, myself,
Mr. DeVivo, and 20 other individuals from the community. We even have students, boosters, parents, have met 3 times over the last 6 weeks, looking just for their ideas and thoughts, what needs to be put into that athletic facility. It's more than just a football stadium. It's going to be a track. It's going to be a classroom for phys ed and other things. The community's going to be able to use it. So we've had 3 meetings. Our architects, ICAM, will be coming Monday night to update us on those meetings and what they've got out now and what their proposed plans are for that complex. And then on April 3rd, we're going to unveil that to the whole community and have a community meeting at Armstrong Junior Senior High School at 7 o'clock to show what the plans are and prepare to go out to bid for that. If all goes well, we'll be playing football there this fall. The concession stands and restrooms, those things will probably not be done because that part of the field house and building take a little bit more time. But there will be a field, there should be bleachers, there should be a track, and there should be lights. We'll just have to bring in some portable things for concessions and restrooms, but if all goes well, hopefully we're playing football up there this fall. Lastly, and just a little bit with West Shamokin too. We're talking out of West Shamokin as well. I had 2 meetings this past week. Our hopes is to do some renovations to their stadium as well. We're looking to maybe turf that field this summer and then do a small field house out there, which they have not had one either. And we believe the funding's available to turf that this fall, then look into next summer doing a small field house for them. So we've been busy, a lot of construction and projects. And to tie all into that, as you know, we're looking to possibly do a bond issue. Tonight we have Randy Frederick and Chris Brewer here to discuss that. There'll be a resolution on the agenda for Monday night. The plan is to do a bond issue of $10 million. The $10 million plus some of the cash we've talked about, will be funding those 3 items that I just discussed. So I'm going to turn it over to Randy and Chris.
Well, thank you very much, Sam. Is this okay, or will we go over it for the matter?
You want to go over there?
Yes, we can
Oh,
hear.
okay.
Yeah, check it out.
Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. Sam's done a very nice job of introducing what I need to talk to you about, so I can be very quick and brief to the point, but yet if you have questions or concerns, let me know and we can go through them. We've drafted a resolution for your consideration at Monday night's meeting. It would be a similar kind of resolution you've seen in the past from our office that creates an indebtedness under the Debt Act, authorizes all its terms and conditions, and in the fashion that we've done on several occasions, it authorizes a maximum not to exceed amount so that we can get your legislative action and approvals on the record and on the books, and yet in the next couple of weeks, and Randy will speak a little bit more as to timing in the market, try to select a good market opportunity to go sell the bonds when we think we're away from other constraints. You know, the Fed Open Market Committee meeting is coming up, jobs numbers are out tomorrow and things like that. So when we've been able to get boards and clients to put legislation in place and then yet have the freedom to time an issue into the marketplace depending on other constraints and factors, it's worked pretty well. We had initially, I think, as a working group on the finance, thought that we might be able to fund the entire project or a large chunk of it, and yet Piper Jaffray did some studies looking at the benefit in this market of the lower interest rates available when you stay underneath that $10 million annual threshold and do the so-called bank-qualified bonds, bringing banks into the marketplace as buyers of the debt and increasing the demand for your bonds. That seems to be the right way to go, and that's a decision then collectively the administration and we all came to. So while this resolution will say 14 million, that's a number that is an outside large number because the technical legal need under the Debt Act to specify maximum principal amounts on a schedule in each and every year. We should be beneath all those in each and every year, and the resolution has in it also a requirement that while we're authorizing a maximum, that's to allow this flexibility of final amortization. The bond issue will be at 10 million or just under, allowing for cost of issuance and so forth. When the department has over the years allowed us to do these kinds of things, I've mentioned this before, since they require that you can't go outside a limit that you set in any given and every single year, it means that we really kind of have to pump up the schedule for technical purposes. It will fall back into line for what is being talked about. The project description is pretty comprehensive and broad. You have some money still left over from a prior financing. You probably need another one next year to wrap all this up, but we're taking a sort of open and comprehensive approach. So as and when the right opportunities to bid these jobs and get started come up, you can proceed. Nothing about the resolution commits you to every one of these projects. That's done separately, but we're getting the money in place so that you are positioned to go forward as you need to. Mr. Price, as well as your administration, seen the resolution, offered some comments, so it's been through review by all your professionals. I put a paper copy in front of you today. We'll get a PDF of that created in our office and around to you, so it's on board docs for Monday night. But just as based on timing today, when I got some numbers from Randy's office and got that together, it ends up in front of you in paper form. Of course, at my age, paperwork for thousands of years. I think it's pretty good stuff. But we'll get it to you in electronic.
The bottom of page 5 is the project description, which I think some had asked about, and it expands what Mr. Kirk was talking about and Mr. Brewer. The very bottom of page 5.
Yes, if you have edits, whether now or by Monday, let us know. We can certainly put those into the final version for Monday. That's the reason for meeting with you tonight. So I don't want you to think that it can't be changed, but it should be in pretty good order.
Any questions for Mr. Brewer?
Randy, do you want to speak a little bit about the market or where you guys stand or when you think you might offer the bonds?
No. But I will.
I'm Randy Frederick from Piper Jaffray, so we have it on record. As Chris mentioned, we have supplied the administration with numerous computer runs as to how to finance this project. There were level debt service, wraparound debt service, different project amounts, and it seems that what everyone agreed to, as Chris said, was $10 million bank qualified. When you say bank qualified, and as Chris said, it brings the banks into the marketplace. It lowers the percentage, probably 25 to 50%, depending where the market is on the market. We're also utilizing a wraparound scenario. When you do a level debt service, it's just like going out and get a mortgage. You get your level debt service, and that's fine. That's what you pay. By using a wraparound debt service, what you're doing is actually doing a new issue and tailoring it around your existing debt. So you're pushing some of the principal out to later years. And the reason to do that is some of your older debt services are paying off. Those budgeted dollars are then allocated to the new money portion. So what that does is actually reduces the annual budgetary impact. And it lessens that. If you do a level debt service, you're going to have a higher annual impact to the constituents. And I think Mr. Kirk has presented, I assume you have the numbers that are available.
The impact that we'll have on the budget, borrowing this amount, would be about $400,000. And if we were going to attribute that to a mill, it's about 0.7 of a mill, 70% of 1 mill.
Yeah, and I think if you did a level debt service, you'd be over 600,000.
That's correct.
So,
Yeah.
so that's the difference. It really does give you some benefit, and there's philosophical reasons to do that too. That people moving into the district pay for that same facility that they're utilizing. So it's not like you're pushing it out for no reason. You're doing it for there are reasons for doing that. Earlier this week, we Mr. Kirk. In our office had a conference call with Moody's Investment Services to look at the rating for the bond issue. So we can't proceed until we get the rating and know exactly what we're marketing in the marketplace. Sam did a great job. It seems that the budget has gotten better, and I think the analyst even agreed to that. I assume that the rating will be no different than last year. I'm hoping it's a little better, just because he seemed to be somewhat impressed as to the movement from the school district, your budgets, your plans, how it's been proceeding. So it was a very, very good call. We'll get that answer, I believe, Monday morning. Or is it Monday morning?
Monday morning, he'll release it around 9 o'clock. We have about 2 hours to review the report for duties. If there's anything we don't agree with or what changed or we disagree, got to tell them within that 2 hour period of time. So kind of we all booked off 9 to 11 Monday morning to review that.
And once that is signed off on, then we can go and get insurance. Insurance is another area that benefits the school district. When you buy the insurance, it puts you in a whole different category. It actually reduces the interest rate that you will be expending on this issue. By doing that, you pay a one-time fee, and it'll probably be somewhere in the area of 40 basis points, similar to what it was last time. Maybe better depending on where the rating comes in. But that one-time fee, we have to run it to see if it's worthwhile using or not worthwhile using. And you guys are healthy enough that the insurance fee is lower, and it should benefit the school district to utilize the insurance. So once we get those bids in, we'll send those out to the 2 insurance companies to see what they come in with, and see how that benefits the school district too. Without insurance, obviously the interest rates will be a little higher, but you're going to be going out about 26 years on this issue. And during that time period, you're more than going to recoup that issue plus more by doing so. So what we're asking tonight, I guess, is by accepting the resolution, you're going to appoint certain people, Mr. Kirk, Mr. DeVivo, or Dr. DeVivo, I'm sorry, and anyone else you deem appropriate. When we will enter the market, we'll figure out where the numbers are, and if it matches into your budget, then you will say yes or no at that point. There's about an hour or 2 hour time period to make that decision also. But if we meet the parameters that Chris set forward in the resolution, we would anticipate meeting those parameters and getting that done. So that we're looking probably 2 weeks to 3 weeks to enter the market, and then we'll go from there.
That's it.
So we'll just need a consensus to put that resolution on.
Yeah, it's not on this agenda now, is it?
It is
We'll have
not,
to put
no.
that on. But I assume it'd be under business?
Yes.
Said it'd be under business 7.
Any questions for Randy or Chris? Thanks, guys.
Thank you. You have something, Lee?
Yeah, Mr. President, can I add something? Not regarding the bond issue, but as a follow-up to Mr. Kirk's presentation on the guaranteed energy savings agreement. You may recall at our special meeting, we adopted the agreement that based on some things that were said there, the schedules had to be finalized, and those are all done. And I think I had mentioned that we should be voting on those, so we can add those to our Monday's agenda if it's okay with everybody. That includes the time schedule for the project as well, which has been talked about.
We'll have to put that under construction, correct? Yeah.
You can put it under construction, yes. And I'll get a motion for Ms. Ambrose if she needs it.
Whatever, C1.
C1.
Do it after. Just do it after that general 2. Okay, at this time, public comments on agenda items this evening. Okay, let's see anything this evening. Minutes, need a consensus to place the minutes from the open caucus session from February 9th, 2017, and also the regular meeting of February 13th, 2017. Good consensus? Yeah. Anybody have any changes or corrections on those minutes? Consensus to place those on, we have. Bills, 4 categories for the bills: food service fund, Capital Projects Fund, presentation of the bills for payment, all from February in the Athletic Fund. Anything from the business department highlight on the bills? No, nothing. Any questions from board members, any of those categories? Consensus to place those on for Monday? Yes. Education, 2 items under education. Anything to highlight there from administration?
First one's a standard annual item that we vote on. The second one, Mr. Williams has some follow-up information regarding that. It's a positive educational thing that's going on.
The small school. Students from West Shamokin, I think, were recognized in the Leader Times on the 18th for having placed at the state level for the Quiz Bowl Championship, and will be 5 students, 1 teacher, competing in Rosemont, Illinois, which I believe is right handy to Chicago.
Yeah.
So we wish them all the best.
Good luck.
That's big.
Be safe.
We need it.
Be safe. Any questions on those 2 education items? Consensus to place them on for Monday? Well, 7 business items. Anything from, most of these all were,
Business 1 and 2 coincide with South Bend tax collector. We had one resign, we're appointing a new one. Business 3 is extension of the source for teacher contract. That is the organization that provides our substitute teachers on a day-to-day basis for us. Business 6, summer food service program. We have fees, just asking for approval to do those programs throughout the district again this summer. And then 4 and 5 have to do with the technology department, and if there's any questions on those, Mr. Lawson's here to answer those questions.
That source for teachers, I know it had some challenges bringing it up online. Are you guys working through all those issues? And
Yeah, we have our thoughts as to why, the lack of subs, or the lack of being able to fill those open positions is not a situation that's unique to Armstrong. It's across the state. Other schools are having the same problems. We feel there's an ample amount of substitutes in the pool to call. The technology is working great. It's those folks that call off 5, 6 in the morning that we're having a hard time filling those positions. We're going to try something. We're going to do 4 dedicated subs, 2 on the eastern side of the district, 2 on the western side of the district. That at any given time, they're going to be assigned positions for those late call-offs. So that somebody wakes up in the morning at 6 o'clock, they're off sick. We're having 4 dedicated subs just for those. We're going to try that. We did that last year as well. Our absenteeism is just up. It's more than what it was last year. And more, less it's known, there's less students coming out of college for teaching degrees. There's less pools to go to. So we're doing our best, and we're trying to, a lot of things are, we're doing things that, maybe that we used to with, whether it's IEPs or curriculum, working on curriculum during school days where we're assigning, getting subs for that. We're trying to do less of that and doing it at times where there's, no students in the building. So we're working on it. We talk about it monthly. But the source for teacher, the process with them, technology-wise, is working good.
okay.
Are there any options to them, or they basically are only?
No, there's other options. Kelly Services, when we did this originally, we had a couple presentations, I think it was 3. We chose them, I think, just because of, I think a lot had to do with the price. But if you look at our IU, most districts around here are using Source for Teachers. They kind of invaded the market in Pennsylvania. A lot are using them. Kelly's down in the Pittsburgh area, but for the most part up this way, I think they're the only game in town. I mean, they're always not the only game, but everybody's using them. It's kind of smart because what's good or bad, they're getting a lot of teachers, so a lot of people are going for different pools. So some of our teachers might be in Indiana's or maybe Leechburg's also, which I don't know if that's good or bad, but we might get more people also because of that.
Okay. Yeah, another
Sam, the
question.
permanent subs, are they, they're not hired through Source for Teachers?
Yes, they are.
They are,
They actually get a higher rate.
okay.
Under our agreement with them, they get a higher rate because they know that they're gonna be there every day. They're dedicating themselves there every day, so we give them a little higher rate for that. But it's through Source for Teachers.
Okay.
Now, when we do a long-term sub, they come off Source for Teachers and then they're compensated by us.
This isn't unique to the Armstrong School District. This is, every district's fighting its battle. We have 10,000 less public school employees now than we did 5 years ago in the state of Pennsylvania. We've got great cooperation from our teaching staff. They help cover classes whenever we have teachers out with no coverage. So we've been able to pull together and make our way. Obviously, we don't like not having continuity in the classroom, but we're doing the best we can with the available resources we have. We'll continue to work on it.
All right, business 4 and 5, internet pertain to internet usage and agreements.
That's, if anybody has questions for Chris, he's here. Any questions on this?
I'd like to mention something.
Sure.
If you look at the agreement itself, that would be item 5 on your agenda. There was a provision in there that we would have to pay extra if our equipment that the fiber transport system would connect to was more than 50 feet from the entrance to where it comes into our building. And Mr. Clausen managed to discuss that with them, so that requirement's going to be removed, and they will be putting in wherever we tell them to do it, which is basically where our current equipment is, some of which are more than 50 feet from the entrance to the transport line into our facilities. And this covers all of our buildings, realizing that where we are here, administration, the elementary school, and the intermediate school are all combined as one building for purposes of the fiber optic coming in.
Okay. Any questions on any of those two items? You have anything to add to that? Either of those two?
Not particularly. I mean, I could speak to both of them in regards to pricing. Actually, we sort of on the interconnects between buildings that was discussed. We're going to see a significant decrease in our monthly costs. We were able, through the RFP process, through the state of Pennsylvania, we were able to actually get 36% discount on what we're currently paying through our current provider. So we're actually going to decrease our monthly bill from about $12,500 down to around $8,000, and that's pre-E-rate. So when we actually pay the bill, we'll probably be somewhere around $1,600 a month for all of our connections to all of our buildings. And then our internet, we're requesting to increase that by 100 megs, and the price difference there is going to be $20 a month, so $240 a year. So it's kind of a nominal fee to increase, kind of put us a little more in line with what we're using internet-wise with Chromebooks and things like that that are coming into the district as well. So pretty much all I have to add to that if there's any other questions.
Doesn't look like it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Business 6 is summer food programs. Anything on that? Same as any other summer. Huh? Yeah, it's the same. Business 7, Lee, I'll let you.
Find it here. This business.
It's the
Well, that's a
resolution.
new
We just talked about it.
resolution for what we spoke with.
Yeah, I have nothing more to add to it. If you want to do it, you got to put it on.
Yeah, what are we gonna?
I don't know what else to say at this point. If you want to, if you want to do,
Money well spent.
if you want to do,
Great advice, Lee.
It's always worth having you here. Thanks for joining us. Thank you. But if you want to get the elementary school started this summer, this is about it. No, we went over this administratively before tonight's meeting, so.
Basically, the resolution is what we have in front of us. It was just discussed here, so.
Yeah, I just think.
Till we get a formal name for it next week, we'll, resolution will be business 7 pertaining to the resolution.
Yeah, again, I think it needs to be stressed that this involves a number of capital improvement projects. The two most important being Shannock Valley and Elderton Elementary Schools. Elderton is not this year, but hopefully it's going to be next year.
Correct. Okay. We have consensus from the board to place all 7 of the business items on for Monday. Student transportation services, just an updated list of the bus drivers. Again, consensus, put that on for Monday. 2 policy items listed. Anything from our solicitor on those 2 policy items?
I think the only thing worth commenting on, to make you aware, is the lice policy, head lice policy. I believe what it is primarily doing is treating it on an individual basis and allowing the nurse to make the call as to whether the student should be allowed to return to school if they are getting treated, based upon what the nurse sees, based upon, again, her expertise or his expertise. I don't know if you want me to get into the difference between NITS or non-NITS.
Just bringing back some memories.
But this policy is basically following the recommendations of the pediatric societies as to how it should be handled. And your nurses seem to be very skilled to be doing what they're doing in this regard. The other is your permanent records. I shouldn't say permanent, but just your record keeping. The important part is the charts that are explaining to you what kind of documents and for how long we are keeping them. They run anywhere from 1 year to 99 years regarding student records. And some of those requirements are based upon federal and state laws as to how long we're maintaining them. And the other is we've added electrical and microfilm as being the option for almost all of the various items, depending upon which way you wish to go at a given point in time.
Have a consensus place those 2 policy items on? Yes. 2 general items. Nomination of the ASD board director to the Aaron IU 28 board. Did we have anybody nominated for that position? I thought we. I think it was PSBA. We still need somebody to take.
Yeah, you have to nominate. The election actually occurs at the Aaron convention, but they will not consider anybody unless the local board nominates them. So I guess you're looking for volunteers or continuation.
Yeah.
We're all
Nominate Linda Walker.
But you realize I will not be able to fulfill the 3-year term, but I will
Right.
gladly continue until
Your
my term
end of
ends.
your term is here. So I would accept that. Anybody, we need to go through that formally, or? we're okay
Yes, you
just-
have to put it on the agenda.
We'll
as
put
it
it
is
on
now.
her, put it on this
And you
agenda.
can place Ms. Walker's name
Place
on there.
Linda Walker, nominated for ASD Board Director for the Aaron Board. That'd be the general one. And 2, the operating budget for Aaron Intermediate Unit 28. I know we've had some discussion on this in the past.
Level funded.
Yeah. Is there any further questions on that budget topic? If not, we'll place those 2 items on for Monday. And before we get to other construction, we'll have one under C1. What were we gonna put under construction 1?
That was gonna be the schedules for the GISA contract.
Okay. Is that your formal That'll be your formal resolution for that construction one.
Yes, it'll basically be adopted, and she'll have the attachments on
We can
your electronic.
place that on for Monday. Yes. We'll see that on Monday's voting meeting. Yeah. Anything on other informational folders?
In your informational folder, there's a notice about the interconvention that Mr. Price just spoke about. It's Tuesday, April 18th at Purchase Line High School. If you recall, last year it was at Armstrong. We hosted this year it's at Purchase Line. The only other thing I have for this evening is, over the last couple of years, we had discussions regarding our French program. Prior to me getting here, there was implementation of the Chinese program, and at that time, I think there was some discussion on whether or not we would maintain 3 foreign languages that we offer in both of our high schools, or we're going to phase one of those out. Just want to give you an update of where we are. Right now is the time to make that decision on what we want to do. And Dr. Williams has some backup information to share at the moment.
We're in the process of evaluating those numbers. Course requests are coming in just this week. The numbers for French 1 headed into next year are down slightly from 100 the previous year to 83, headed into 17-18. Beyond the obvious impact of, that reduces our offerings, there's also some analysis to be done there as far as how that impacts potentially other electives, as well as staffing, obviously. So we're looking at all of those scenarios.
We need to believe we'll have administrative recommendations to bring back to the board on.
Next month, I believe.
We'll see where we're at with the numbers, and, if we plan to discontinue the program, then everybody that's in it will be able to, like we said before.
The current students that are enrolled will be able to finish the program as far as they want to go.
What are the numbers for the other languages? Do you have those?
Chinese, I believe, has 44. Spanish headed into next year, and I'm talking about level 1. Spanish 1 has 167.
Okay. We'll continue to monitor that and see what direction we ultimately go.
All right, thanks.
Anything under other from board members? See anything, entertain a motion to adjourn. Ms. Loeb, second. Mr. Mulroy, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we're adjourned. Have a good evening, everyone. Good weekend.